Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm your host, Sam Adavi. Coming to you from Boss Hog Torque Converter Car and Truck Show at the Alabama Music Hall of Fame in Muscle Shoals. Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. This is gonna be one awesome car.
And I said, it doesn't even run yet. And look at it now, it's amazing.
Welcome to the Lokar Car Shows. I'm Sam Adavi, and I'm here with Nelson Gill, owner of ACC Performance, home of the Boss Hog Torque Converter, and also his daughter Nora, who's a Hot Rodders of Tomorrow. And Nelson has thrown his first car show here at the Music Hall of Fame in Alabama. So we're really excited about the attendance that's going to be going on today and to see all the cool cars.
Man, we're so excited about having this show today, man. This is going to be awesome. I'm just so excited. You know, the last venue that was here was Leonard Skinnerd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're followed up by Boss Hog Torque Converters. How much more could just pump you up?
We're expecting a lot of cars and hopefully a diversity of them as well. There's also going to be a dyno on set, and they're going to be dyno tuning cars. So this is going to be a cool show. I can't wait to get it started.
Same here, man. Let's get this party going.
You know, it's not very often you guys go to a car show and see a Lincoln Continental, especially one in the condition that Doug's is in. It's a convertible, it's all original, and the top works. Loving the Continental. Tell us about your car, Doug.
I found the car on the internet. It was in Denver, Colorado, and it had always been in Denver. So it was a rust-free car. It needed a top, but that's all it needed. The top was good, other than it had a small tear in it. And I had the engine completely rebuilt, new pistons, new rods, and all that stuff put in it. And cruise control, everything like that works on it. And I tell you something else, that the power top, people let the top down moving. This top, you can't, you got to stop and put the car in park before the top.
Well, that's smart, because that's a lot of stuff going on. And last thing you want is wind to blow everything away.
Yeah.
And that cop's got a lot of relays and switches, and it all works in sync together. When something goes wrong, it's a bear to diagnose, and it's going to be very expensive. So when you guys go to a car show and you see a Lincoln Continental, make sure to go check it out, because they're awesome cars to see. You know, no matter how many times I go to a car show, I never get sick of seeing an AC Cobra, whether it's a replica car or an original. Hard to find an original. Usually they're chained to the garage floor. I'm here with Jackie, and this is a family of car nuts. You can tell by the license plate of this car. What a beautiful Cobra. When did you guys get this?
Probably about 20 years ago.
Now, who's got you involved in cars in the family?
That man right back there, my father.
Your father. That's awesome. You guys been tinkering with cars this whole time?
That's always been our hobby. We don't do the hunting, fishing, and all that. We've always messed with cars.
And did you buy it or did you build it?
We bought it. It was pretty much a running, driving car when we got it.
How long have you owned it?
Been close to 20 years.
20 years, wow, that's incredible. That was back when they were really popular, getting built. You know, there's a lot of cars out there, a lot of companies out there doing the kit cars. That's 20 years old. Very nice shape for it to be as old as it is. Yeah. You guys traded it off and enjoy it amongst yourselves as a family.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of engine is in this one?
It's got a 351 Windsor in it.
351 Windsor, wow, not bad. A lot better than the 302.
Yeah.
How much power do you think it puts down?
350 maybe.
Well, I love the shift knob.
Yeah.
It's so original. Lokar Car Show, presented by Appalachian Backroads. Appalachian Backroads. Virginia is for lovers. Original Parts Group Incorporated. Unbeatable quality, price, and in-stock selection for GM restoration and high-performance parts. NH Oil Undercoating Incorporated, NHOU, the official oil-based rust-proofing system. Lokar Performance Products, quality, plain and simple. It's time for the Lokar Lowdown with Jeffrey Walls.
For you guys out there who have worn out your steering wheel or have seen them crack like this in your straight rod or muscle car, Lokar now offers a wide variety of steering wheels and hubs to fit your application. We've got full leather stitched, hand stitched in the USA wheels for you in a variety of colors, and hubs to fit every application, whether that's your Yugo or Bronco, Impala, whatever it is, standard GM columns, Flaming River and I Did It aftermarket columns, we've got what you need. We have a variety of different styles and everything from custom leather wraps that you can request by giving us a call or pick out one of our standard ones online or one of our dealers. Check us out at lokara.com today.
"56 years ago, him and his son and grandson took the motor out 24 years ago and boarded over 60 over and put it back in. The car's got over 340,000 miles, the chassis. The engine, like I said, was rebuilt 24 years ago.
Well, it's been built twice.
It's been built twice, there you go. So you guys drive these cars, right? And you're the guy who got everybody interested in doing the builds and all that when they were young, right?
I've always loved working on cars, and he has too. Matter of fact, he is a master paint. That car over there, the blue car, he did all the body work and painting that car.
Wow. And this is a hobby, right? You guys don't make this a career because that's what keeps the love up, is the fact that it is a hobby.
We do it in my old dirty garage most of the time.
Well, in that dirty garage, you're producing some serious good-looking cars. That is very awesome that you're doing it with the family. So you guys out there, go out there in the garage with your parents and tinker with the cars, build something cool, and go out there and show it off at the car show and show what you can do. I'm standing here with Dina Parisi. We're standing in front of Stella, which is her Cadillac, right?
Yes.
You may know her as the 2015 IHRA World Champion. Tell us about your Cadillac.
Thank you. Well, as you said, this is Stella. I said every girl from New York needs a 3,000 horsepower Cadillac.
Absolutely.
Right? There's nothing better. As we said, 3,000 horsepower. It's got a 526 Hemi. I know everybody says it's a Hemi in a Cadillac. I know, but that's what makes it go fast.
Exactly right. All the big cars that are going really fast, the funny cars and everything, they all have Hemis in them. So the Corvettes that you guys used to run also have Hemis in them?
Yes, we actually ran the same program in those cars. My husband and I both had Pro Mods. It was a 63 and 53 Cadillac, and both with 526 Hemis just like this. There's a nice big supercharger sticking out of the front.
Yep,
I don't need
absolutely.
any nitrous.
And sometimes, if you got a big fat turbo or a big supercharger, sometimes you need a little bit of nitrous too.
Nope.
But you guys are making all that with just blower, right?
We are.
How much horsepower did you say?
About 3,000.
Wow, what are you running in the quarter?
So in the quarter, we're running high 590s at about 240, and in the eighth, we are running high 390s, and we are just shy of 200 miles an hour. We haven't made it there yet, but we will.
I'm here with Ryan and Nora. Ryan is part of the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, and Nora is a Hot Rodders of Tomorrow. Tell me what you do with the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, Ryan.
The Hot Rodders Tomorrow is an engine program that we try to mentor youngsters and teach them how to take an engine apart and put it back together. So they learn the components and how to work with their hands and use some basic tools.
And you do this at an early age, right?
We do. We start with kids as young as 4 to 5 years old, and you'll see kids of all ages, even adults, that come up and say, hey, can I take the engine apart?
Right. And how many years have you guys been doing this?
This is our 12th year to be doing it at the high school level. We started the junior engine program, like with Nora, 3 years ago. So the engine that we use for training the youngsters is a L206 based engine. It's something you could buy at your local hardware store or an engine shop. Whereas the engine on the junior dragster is 100% billet piece for making lots of horsepower and torque.
So once they move up to that level, then you put that engine in there and they keep on going, right?
That's correct.
And then after that, it's going to be the big dragsters and all the horsepower and all the experience that comes with it. And you guys out there, you know, you might want to check out the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow. It's a great association. It's really good for kids to get out there and do this type of work at a young, early age because it really gets them excited about it, and it gives them something to be prideful about when they do something so cool and so different than their friends in school. So Nora, as you can see, she's part of the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, and you guys can have your kids part of the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow as well. I was walking by Michael's Mustang and I couldn't help but notice this big giant turbo staring at me, and reminded me of the super days back in the day when we were doing big giant turbos then. So I knew he was a drag racer and I went up and talked to him. Tell us about your motor and your car.
It's a stock block 5.4. It's got a set of stock heads, blower cams, rods, pistons set up. It's got a Pro Mod 91mm turbo.
That's a big giant turbo. What kind of power are you making?
We had it turned down on a dyno. We was having some issues, but at about 20 pounds, it made 996. So I've pushed it as high as 32 pounds. So I figure it's north of 1,300.
Exactly. And you know, when you're drag racing something like this, the dyno can only give you so much. You're going to finish it off at every track you go to because every one is going to be different as far as the atmosphere, as far as the humidity and all that. You got to tune it all in. So that's why the dyno just gives us a baseline, and then we go out to the track and we do fine tuning at every event when we go, right? Now, what kind of transmission you got? Because it's got to be a good one to handle that kind of power.
It is. It's a Reed Case Power Glide.
There you go.
So it's got a 4-inch one-piece aluminum drive shaft, and it's got a 8.8 rear end.
And what are you shifting at? What RPM?
74 to 7,600 mostly. It just depends on track.
If you guys are gearheads or you watch some of the SEMA coverage 2014, you'll see Jerry's truck won Best of Truck that year.
About 3 months ago, I purchased it from somebody local.
Yeah? And what have you done to it since you've owned it?
I've just done the vinyl wrap and the wheels on it.
And he did the vinyl wrap because it was an airbrush on the side of the truck that goes inside the truck, and on the panels that all coincides together. But he didn't like the wrap on the outside, or he didn't like the airbrush on the outside, so he went ahead and wrapped it. And I love the color he chose and the two-tone you went with. That's very cool. Now, what size lift does it have?
It's supposed to be set at 15.5 in the rear and 17.5 in the front.
I'm glad you kept the airbrushing on the suspension components in the front because that's a lot of work, you know?
Yeah.
To cover something like that up would have been an injustice, but that looks really cool. Now, what do you plan on doing with the truck from here?
From here, I think I'm just going to keep it like it is for now
and show it.
Yeah.
Does it have full interior as far as accessories on the interior, stereo stuff, anything like that?
It's got the airbrushing inside as well.
Very nice, strong tonneau cover on the back of this truck as well. Now, do you ever take it off-road, or do you plan on doing anything like that?
No, it's just a street princess.
Yep, and you go to shows and win those trophies, aren't you?
I'm going to try.
This is cool. I was walking by and I noticed Sonia's 2016 white Z06, and this is the car that we put a camshaft in my shop and an upper pulley. Sonia and her husband Rich, they raced this car in Memphis 10. What else have you done to this car since you've owned it?
We did pure E85, dual nozzle meth. We actually had to put a new RPM rear end in it. We did a Cords ice box. We actually go to any local racetracks around. We race with anybody and everybody. We actually have small tire, we have big tire, we have extreme street, and we have daily driver, which that's what I do.
And you can see them winning. They just took a win, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you guys took the whole win?
Yes, sir, we did.
Cool. Now, what kind of horsepower is it putting down now?
It's like 698 is what we did last, and that was dynoed before we actually put the lower pulley on it.
And this is a daily driver. This is what you drive every day.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty outside, and I can drive it. You better believe I'm going to drive it.
And see, you guys, nothing is too pretty to go out there and beat up on the track. Z06 is very capable. A couple of transmissions are rear end. That means that they're doing their job. They're launching from the hole, and they're making the power to win the race. This is an awesome Mustang, belongs to Nick, and this thing makes 1,000 horsepower at the flywheel, almost over 800 at the wheels.
Yes, sir.
Give us the specs on this car.
I really hadn't did anything but oil pump gears, headers. BMR actually hooked me up with full suspension. I did a 2.3 Roush blower on it that I got from a buddy of mine, Derek DeFore, out of Mississippi.
Now you've gone through a couple of stages of
Absolutely. I started out with a Paxton, then I went to nitrous, then I went to this, and now I'm kind of nitrous / blower. I've got the nitrous set up to finish plumbing it.
Right.
And I'm going to spray the far out of it and see how long it'll stay together.
And this thing's running E85. It used to be automatic and you converted it to a stick shift. Tell us how hard that was.
3 months, a lot of headaches. Honestly, I couldn't have done it if I hadn't had the help from a lot of friends, local. Ken from Palm Beach Dyno, Rob Shoemaker from Palm Beach Dyno, which is my tuner of 3 years, and Rare Fab. They finished taking care of the little detail work.
It's very cool when you have friends that'll help you out with your hobby and take that love and care with you and build a car together. That's what makes it so fun.
Lokar Car Show, presented by Appalachian Backroads. Spearhead Trails, get out and explore. H&M Saw, the saw that cuts straight. Brothers Truck Parts, #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck parts. Stage 8, the world's best locking fasteners.
Ronnie's 39 Ford truck is so beautiful. We saw it rolling in. This thing on the outside looks almost stock. There's a lot of little subtle things he's done to it, but the powertrain underneath, you did keep it Ford, but he's upgraded everything underneath the hood. Tell us about your truck, Ronnie.
Well, it's a 1939. I bought it original, and we stripped it all down and turned it into a street rod. I got a Mustang 2 front end with a Ford 302. Got a Ford 9-inch rear end with a C4 automatic transmission.
You kept it all Ford underneath.
It's all Ford.
And
yes,
tell
sir.
us about that grill.
Well, the grill, it's a 39 grill, and they made this grill 2 years in a row. They made it a 38 and a 39. Of course, the 38 was a split grill, and it had a V8 at the top, but they made the solid grill for 39.
And this thing's got an 85 right here on the Ford emblem on the side, and that basically means that it had 85 horsepower. So now it's got a lot more horsepower, still run the original frame. Now the hole in the bottom of the grill, I did not know that, but that's for the original crank.
They had a hand crank, yes. If your starter wouldn't work, you could crank it with a hand crank.
This is an awesome truck. Check it out. The inside is absolutely beautiful. The bed wood in the bed is done right. I couldn't help but check out Neil's 48 Cadillac rolling into the show. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It's also rocking a 502 crate engine with a 480 behind it and a 9-inch Ford. Tell me about your Cadillac, Neil. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's a 1948 Cadillac Convertible Series 62. They didn't make but 5,000 of them, and we painted it Viper red. It has a leather interior in it, aftermarket leather interior with 98 Seville power seats. It has cruise control, backup camera, all of the late model necessities.
Absolutely, you did a good job with that. The interior is absolutely beautiful. The Seville seats really complement the interior of the car, and the smell, you got the traditional Cadillac smell from that leather you used.
Yes, the leather is from European leather, and it has a Mercedes type carpeting in it.
The carpet really caught my eye. He went the extra level and put a really nice carpet in there. That's why he got the rubber floor mats to protect that carpet. Now tell me about the wheels and the exhaust tips.
The exhaust tips are from a 98 DeVille Cadillac. I just used the tips, the rest of the exhaust is stainless. And I fabricated it myself, 2.5-inch stainless. The wheels are off of an 02 Cadillac DeVille. And I just kind of incorporated that in with the build.
I'm going to put Sam over here real quick. He's going to tell you a little about his show, what he's doing here today, and everything coming up in 2020, 2021.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for traveling all the way down here to Alabama. Thank everybody out there for coming out to this car show. This particular show we're filming is the Lokar Car Show, and it's going to be airing on Motor Trend Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so make sure you guys tune in. This will probably be the 4th or 5th show aired, but you guys want to check out all the shows. Thank you very much for coming out. Thank you guys for bringing the family. This is a family event. Well, that's a wrap. What a great show. I want to thank Nelson Gill and the crew over at ACC Performance for throwing an awesome event. This may be a multiple year event because this was the first annual and they did a great job, huge turnout. So make sure you guys check out Lokar Car Show Series next week, Saturday morning.
That's all the excitement here at the Boss Hog Torque Converter Car and Truck Show. Stay tuned for more cars in next week's episode of the Lokar Car Show, where we show you the best of the Heritage Days Super Cruise in Greenville, Pennsylvania.